the Nerdstrom Household. My name is Nerdstrom, and now we are finally at the top of the field here in the Nerdstrom Household. The number one seed deck in the Nerdstrom House Championship, set number 7, Ruby Sapphire. Now, it seems interesting that I talk Ruby Sapphire when there's an Amethyst Steel enchanted gracing the cover of this box. But this is the Jafar box. This is the deck box by which all other winners of the Nerdstrom household will get the chance to be housed in for the duration of the next set, which is set number 8. And, um, and since set 6, which the winner was Ruby Sapphire, and now it's housed inside this deck box for the time being, proving its mettle and showing why it is the top of the Nerdstrom household. I mean, it's also been the top of the nerd of like most of Lorcana for much of the competitive run of it, and it's kind of easy to see why. There's so much power it's in the hands of this particular deck. Um, there isn't in my combination. There isn't a whole lot of variance. Maybe a couple of like differences in numbers of things, but overall the deck is pretty familiar to a lot of other people, and we already know just how powerful this deck is, not just in the Nerdstrom household, but in Lorcana as a whole. And I know what you're probably thinking. You're probably wondering, man, it's like this is the top deck. How come Nerdstrom doesn't use this deck all that often in competitive play, much less within the Nerdstrom household? Well, when it comes to Nerdstrom household, there does come some benefits that come with being the number one seed. Don't have to fight all that much. You've already proven your mettle. Maybe that's something I need to experiment with doing a little bit more often and just showcase the number one seed. But as far as me using this in the competitive sense, out and about, one of the main reasons why I don't is because there's already so many people out there that play Ruby Sapphire and are more than likely better than me at playing Ruby Sapphire. I have the deck at my disposal because I have to when I train. I do need to play against the top decks, and I need to have a Ruby Sapphire decks that I can place other decks against. And so this has been like a deck that's been set as like it sets the standard for what a competitive deck should be. And a lot of things is like, okay, cool, it's a pretty sweet deck that you have on there, but can it beat Ruby Sapphire? That's the reason why I have a Ruby Sapphire deck. I have always had it in my head too that with this deck as strong as it is, it can compete against many other tournaments. And the thought process that I do have on my own end is, if all else fails, and I just kind of say, nope, you know what? I don't want to make this hard for myself. If all else fails, I'll always have a Ruby Sapphire deck at my disposal to kind of smooth things out and feel confident about the competitiveness of the deck itself. My ability, it's kind of average. It's a good deck. I mean, like, I'm pretty solid at playing it, but I don't feel like I consider myself like a Ruby Sapphire player. You know, I ain't no a DKP. I am not. you know, but it is a very solid deck. It is one of the top decks in the meta, and it's high time that I show you my take on the Ruby Sapphire deck. So let's go ahead and get started. All right. So to start with, we've got for the one drops, we've got 4 popsicles. You know the deal. When you play the side and you draw a card and you banish it, you remove 2 damage from a chosen character. Pretty straightforward. Another one drop. Develop your brain. Look at the top 2 cards of your deck. Put one into your hand and the other on the bottom of the deck. There's a card out there that most people are very familiar with. That's the reason why I have this cheap little action, so it could help pop off that big card a lot easier. And then, of course, I've got 2 Vitality Spheres. You pay 1, you banish this item, a chosen character gains Rush and gets +2 straight this turn. Um, Again, that big card that I'm talking about, it's all about getting this to pop off as soon as possible. In the 2-drop category, we've got 4 T-pose. When you play this character, you may put a card from your hand into your ink will face down and exerted. Ruby Sapphire is known about ramping and doing what you can to get as much capital so that you can play big cards later on in the game. It sacrifices the early game to have a strong mid and end game overall. This is one of the tools that you can use to do it. You've got 4 Vision of the Futures. When you look, you can look up to the top 5 cards of your deck and put one into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order. With Developed Brain, it's 2. This one you can look at 5. It's all about finding the ingredients that you need to make your combos. This is also a cheap action that can make things happen down the line. Sapphire Coil. During your turn, whenever a card is put into your inkwell, you can give a chosen character minus 2 strength this turn. You weaken it so that you can make things happen, basically. It's all about doing things in advance so that you can do big things later on. 4 Sail the Azurite Seas. This turn, you can put an additional card from your hand to your inkwell face down, and you can draw a card. Now, Tipo allows you to put basically any card in your deck face down and in your hand face down and exerted. This one allows you to do another ink cycle, which means that during the ink process, you have to reveal it, right? And to show that it's inkable. This will also allow you to do it too, but then you can draw the card first. See this one, I was like, if you want to put that one in your ink, you can, as long as it's inkable. So there is that. So that's the extent of the 2 drops. I have 1 3-drop in my disposal, and it is Brawl. Banish chosen character with 2 strength or less. In the case of a coil build, like how I have on this one, you minus 2 strength on a character, and there's a lot of cases where it could be just enough so that it could be within Brawl range. So yeah, simple as that. Enough of the 3 drops. Now it's on to the 4 drops. I've got Rush Goofy. It's got whenever this character challenges another character, you gain 2 lore. I want to do every little thing that I can possible so I can gain some lore here and there that can help me down the line. It's a 2 strength. There's a lot of characters out there that are usually pretty this within this range, and the good thing is it's only if I challenge a character. I don't have to banish it. I can just go ahead and challenge. And regardless if this one stays on the board or it doesn't stay on the board, I can still gain my 2 lore no matter what. I've got 3 Grammatalas. When you play this character, it's just like Develop Your Brain. Look at the top 2 cards of your deck. You can put one into your hand and put the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order. You can also choose to just not have both of them, like neither of them. It's like maybe both of them suck. You just get rid of both of them. But yes, this is another ability to gives me another ability to search, and it's also a 4-drop. In the wake of the Hiram ban, you needed to have a 4-drop so that you can also sing How Far I'll Go. Look at the top 2 cards of your deck, put one to your hand into the other, and your other into your equal face down and exerted. It's just like Develop Your Brain, but in my opinion, I feel it's better because you can get one and then you can put another one inside of there, so it's pretty nice to have as far as cards go. I have only 1 5-drop, and it is 2 Mauis. Rush, Reckless, good solid location destroyer. You can just pop it off, get a quick attack in every just here and there, and it stays on the board. And it can be a strong presence that people have to be mindful of whenever they try to turn sideways. But it's not the only Maui that I have in my deck. I've also got Maui Half Shark, 4 of them. It's got Evasive. Whenever this character challenges another character, you can return an action card from your discard to your hand. And whenever you play an action, you can gain 1 lore. Now we're coming to the things that make it really fun. So in the case of this Maui, one of the combos that I like to have is combine it with a Vitalosphere that's already on the field. Pay 1, banish the item, character gains rush and gets +2 this turn. So I can start doing challenges so I can get actions back into my hand really fast. it's a really nice combination to have. And just kind of get it going really quickly. It's also incredibly strong. It can bust locations. It can stand up to a lot of things. And there's not a lot of cards that are out there that can withstand a 7 a 7 strength attack or challenge. I guess that's what it is in this one. And then I've got 2 Tamatoas. When you play this character, you can return up to 2 items from your discard to your hand. And whenever you kill this character quest, you can play an item for free. So there's abilities on both ends for items and action cards to be recovered so that you can use them again and have it pop off a little bit more. Especially in the case of Maui, when that action comes out, cheap little action like Develop Rain, play it, do the thing, do what it was supposed to do, but the point is you still get more lore as you go. And then after that, you can just go ahead and just keep recovering it the more that you challenge. But one of the fun ones that most people are familiar with is I've got 4 Pirate's Lives. It's a 6-drop, and Maui is also 6. You can also use Maui to sing Pirate's Life. It's an action that's being played. Each opponent loses 2 lore, you gain 2 lore. But in the case of this, if Maui is on the field, you also gain 3 lore at the same time too. This is a card that can be very stubborn to get rid of, because the minute that it's in the discard, you can have Maui challenge it, it comes back, and then the whole process starts all over again. I have seen this played, I have played it. It is annoying on both ends to have to deal with it so many times. The only reason why I always kind of feel like it's annoying is because I want to do things like play more of the Develop Your Brains because they're really cheap and I can just keep going. But instead I have to play Pirate's Life. It's more like a Swirl Smiles Funnel and then sad kind of thing. But this card is really, really good. And in a deck like this with Maui, it's almost unstoppable. We might need to get to a point where things are considered out of play. Not only are you banishing it, you have to literally get it out of play like how it is in Yu-Gi-Oh! But we are in a rotation age now, so maybe it's not a card that we have to deal with for much, much longer. All right, 7 drops. I've got Be Prepared. Banish all characters. Hey, I don't like the look of your board. Let's get rid of it. It's pretty simple as that. And then here's a card that I am noticing is not being used as much, and I totally understand why they don't do it. But I have it, but it is Lucky Dime. Choose a character of yours and gain lore equal to their lore. The reason why I have Lucky Dime is because I do have Tamatoa in my thing. So whenever this character quests, you can play an item for free. This is a 7-cost item, but if I have Tamatoa on the field and I quest with it, I can have it just on the field for free, and then I can also use it to pop off and put something on, add 2 lore thanks to Tamatoa, for example. So that is the main reason why I still have dimes. I think they're relevant, and they're really stubborn to get rid of at the same time too, because there's not a whole lot of item removal that people are playing currently right now. And then down to my 8 drops, I've got Big Tamatoa. Now this is also the main reason why you want to have Lucky Dime in the first place. When you play this character, and whenever he quests, you can return an item card from your discard to your hand. In addition, this character gets 1 lore for each item that you have in play. There's a reason why I have a whole lot of items, a whole lot of actions. I'm trying to get 2 different engines to pop off, regardless of what I see in the mulligan. I always have a strategy that I can always go for, and that's the reason why Big Tamatoa is in there. I do also have 4. These days, most players use only 2, and more power to them. I only own 2 of the 6-drop Tamatoa, and that's the reason why I don't do that. I just kind of make up for it by having the Big Tamatoas. This deck ramps pretty quickly, so I'm usually able to kind of get these off pretty easily. So if one gets off, I can always just put another one on there too. It's totally fine. I'm not worried. And then last is 2 8-drop Sisus in Power Sibling. This is a shift 6. There is no shift target in this deck. I decided to take it more of a risk, and instead of like having more low end characters, just kind of focus on just doing the wipes and just kind of getting to the wipes as fast as I possibly can. It's a shift 6. It does quest for 3, and when you play this character, all opposing characters with 2 strength or less get banished. So you can use this in combination with Sapphire Coil, which does get rid of, which does minimize characters, and like all of a sudden, like a card like, shoot, I don't know, what's a 4-drop? I don't know, 4-drop character all of a sudden like drops 2, and then like now all of a sudden it's within brawl, it's within Sisu range, and now that strong character that you were kind of worried about, you can get rid of. So it's a pretty cool ability, and this deck needs wipes whenever you can, because again, it spends a lot of time focusing on its mid game and its end game, and when you do that, then all of a sudden you can actually open it up so that now you can be the guy in charge, putting down all the plays that you want to go on there too. Personally, I think this is an incredibly well-rounded deck. I do think this is going to be a very hard deck to top here in the Nerdstrom household, and who knows, if it's a dominant performance, maybe I should be considering this for set championships down the line. But that is the #1 seed here in the Nerdstrom household. After this, I will be doing the first match in the Nerdstrom House Championship, which will be Amber Emerald Chernodogs going up against the #6 seed Ruby Amethyst, as a buy-in game to determine who will actually start off the Nerdstrom House Championship officially within those two parties. So stay tuned. We've got a long. This is a long night, but I'm gonna be able to get all that we need taken care of tonight, and we can get the show on the road. So until next time, my name is Nerdstrom, reminding you that just because I play against myself, it doesn't mean that you have to. Go out, make new friends, and let's get